That was a rubbish countdown on my part. I apologise. Right. Hello and welcome to episode 3, the adventure number 3, let's say.
Mission 3?
Yes, mission 3 is a good one. I like that. So we finished off in Pleasantville. You're still in the US. You haven't actually gone back. You haven't gone back to the bureau, which is the American version of the agency. You are in a little motel. About 48 hours have passed, which gives enough time for your third member to be flown in after his bout with appendicitis, I think they said at the time. So, so you are given sort of like a priority message comes through, and it reads as such: gentlemen, we have picked up a distress signal from one of our competitors in the nearby area. It is a bunker located about a mile or so, located within the mountains. We'd like you to get in discreetly if possible, find out what's going on, and report back any information that you can find out about our competitors.
Distress signal.
We have competitors? I thought we had. Well, why do we have competitors? Surely we're trying to, stop people from dying, not compete with them. We're not capitalists, are we?
No. So our objective is very much about protection, but there are others that don't share our view, and as you have described, intend to capitalize upon.
All right, so we're communists and they're capitalists. I can get on board with that a little bit.
If that helps you achieve the objective, then that's definitely how we can frame things.
That does not sound like a yes.
It's not a no either. So the our rival is called Scorpion Holdings Limited. So yeah, we picked up. It was a garbled burst, which we think was a distress signal. Since then, no other communications have come in or out. Yes.
Are we assuming then that they're all dead and we're just going in to clean up whatever mess that they left behind? Or is this more of a, we're here to rescue them and then later maybe they give us help because they owe us a favor? What is the goal here?
So the goal is obviously if they're alive, then render aid and contain whatever it is that they're doing there. If they're dead, then find out what they're doing. We were not the only ones to have received this transmission, but it's going to take slightly longer for Scorpion to get anyone out there. So your objective is to get in and out, ideally without leaving a trace of your presence. If there are people alive, then say that you're here to render help.
What is the current relationship between us and Scorpion Holdings? Are we talking friends to Frosty? Is this like a friends to lovers, enemies to lovers situation, or are we talking we're going to be shot at? I would prefer the former, but
If we do get shot at, can we shoot at them?
Yeah, this is the United States. It's self-defense.
Technically, the castle doctrine would apply. I mean, we'd still be committing a crime, and they wouldn't.
Which state are we in?
Texas.
Then if there's any evidence, erase it.
No problem.
Very well. Any further questions before we?
An out of character question. An out of character question. The So we haven't had a chance to go back to the bunker.
Um,
No, sorry, to the bureau even.
to the bureau. So so 48 hours have passed. You're all staying at a motel that's located near Pleasantville.
Yeah.
That So the bureau's probably I can't remember exactly what I said, but I'd say probably about 12 hours away. So if you wanted to go there for any reason, you could have.
I think to indulge in the out of character open extracurriculars.
So
I think
you very much have time for that.
I would have told Riddle that I was going to like a gun museum or something I knew that Riddle wouldn't want to go to.
Yeah.
And just left him with his computers and said, tidy up the VAML, I'm fucking gone.
He hired a maid service to do it. He's not fucking
So
doing that
fair
himself.
as well. And then, yeah, I will have gone there and basically driven 12 hours straight, done whatever I need to do, driven 12 hours back.
Cool, perfect. Just to fill you in, Simon. So you're kind of in like an agency SUV, like
a mobile home thing, like a...
that's the word, yeah. So it's slightly more high tech than a lot of the ones that you see. So it's got its own satellite uplink,
an armor.
computers, and
This is the one that is half clean and half messy, based on our two protagonists. Yeah.
It's got a tape line directly down the middle.
So I now have to ask the question, Riddle, the people you hire to clean the van, do you instruct them to clean the whole thing or only your half?
No, they clean. So they are discreet cleaners, specifically like agency cleaners, like going down certain pathways. You go, of course they have cleaners. That makes sense.
Yeah.
To do it. And just sends them. Yeah, go clean the van. Don't touch anything that's. If all of these things are bad, all of that cabinet, stay out of it.
Yeah. That's a good point. I hadn't even considered that. I was more as a bit.
He
told
them to clean the van.
Yeah. They clean the whole thing. So
they clean the whole thing.
I think I also get back from North Carolina, wherever the fuck I've been, to do me homework, and as I get back, I just throw Riddle a t-shirt that I bought from a museum. Genuinely, I've just been in there just to go to the gift shop, and it says like I heart guns, freedom, and and a third thing like
guns, freedom, and Trump for president.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm going to burn this in effigy. Thank you.
You know what? That checks out, but it's polite, innit? I think you see Lucas in the best mood you've seen him since you met him. It was a good museum, what can I say?
I didn't know going to a museum could make you like that. The only thing I've ever seen, make somebody that's turn around their life is finding a good woman or man or other thing.
Right, when's Simon getting in?
So, for convenience...
Now.
Yeah.
Go knock on the back of the camper.
That's probably him now.
Did I say?
Gentlemen. Getting up to some exciting things, I hear.
Oh,
Just a bit.
Yes, that is the word I would use.
You're at the mission depot.
Praise him!
Not that
lights
problem
will
anymore.
still slightly flicker when you say that.
There's a little bit of an eye twitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little joke.
You know about these scorpion people. You familiar?
So, you'd aware that there's a rivalry going on. There are differing objectives. They are a more militaristic, more capitalistic venture. Whereas the agency does have some rules and some safeguards in place and generally is looking for the containment and protection against or protection for humanity. This does not. This is a pure for-profit. What can we do? How can we? Their view is more. These things exist. How can we bend them to our will?
That always ends well.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it just?
Right. What's the ETA at the bunker? Where is it?
So it's located within Mount Pleasant, so it's not actually that far. You'd still have to drive up a mountain, so that's going to take slightly longer. But yeah, it's only about an hour's trip.
Is there any likelihood this was related to the whole Chet thing?
So, the theory. So the reason it remained secretive for as long as it did was because of the growing storm occurring at Pleasantville that slowly blacked out all communications. And so the agency weren't able to pick up or intercept any transmissions from this place.
But there's no correlation as of yet suspected that this happened because the Chet thing happened.
It's too early to say one way or another.
Okay.
The effects of what Chet has done were too. It's unknown how widespread or localized they were. So that's the other reason that you're being sent up there, to potentially offer aid in the event that a similar thing has occurred here.
Sure.
But the fact that communications are going out implies that this might be something different, although communications have stopped again. So it is difficult to tell one way or another. It's a reasonable hypothesis, but insufficient information to conclude one way or another.
Right. Let's go.
So the journey is relatively quiet and easy. Most of it's off-road. It's only for the last 5-10 minutes that you have to kind of turn off the main paths. And you kind of find hidden away sort of the concrete entrance. Imagine like a nuclear fallout shelter, or like an apocalyptic shelter that's been built into the mountain. This is the sort of entrance that you are looking at in front of you.
My kind of place.
There's no sign of presence. No, let's start off. Can I have the secret perception check from you all, please? Because
secrets.
Because I very much enjoy this feature.
It's a good feature.
If I do that, has it rolled it to you, Mike? Can you see my result?
I can. Yep. So, although one of you has rolled it as the group token, I don't know if that affects. So I've got Lucas, Simon. So Riddle.
I did.
You only rolled 3 d10s. Is that?
That can't be right. Joke. Yeah, because I got 5 at least.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to flag. So.
Oh, I clicked that. Execute skill test. What do people find? Oh no, it's. So click that button. Do the thing. Roll the thing. Why doesn't? I thought you just clicked perception and then it rolled.
There
it is. There it is. It's the eye.
Yeah, that's the
There you
go. There we go, and it's got your lovely snazzy dice. Okay, so there are no signs of life. Like there's still like grass and birds. Like it is markedly different than the park. Where
there's no sign of like human occupation currently.
Correct. Yep. There's no signs of blood. The doors are sealed.
Is it literally just a door? It's like not a car park or a space to pull up, or cameras, or.
there is a camera on the outside. That's
Like,
yeah,
not
but there's no. So Simon and Riddle will notice this. There's no. There doesn't seem to be any lights on the camera. One might hypothesize that it's offline, or it's a model that doesn't have an active light on it.
Would I know that?
Yeah, make me. I think that's going to be a computers check.
Computers intelligence.
Yeah.
And is this a person-sized door or a vehicle-sized door, or bigger?
This is a person-sized door, like enough for a very large person, but not big enough for a vehicle.
4 success.
So like large creature, but still a.
Yeah, you could get 2 or 3 people through simultaneously.
So it's a big person door, not a small cargo door.
Correct.
Cool.
So yeah, that model doesn't. That model would have like some kind of red light to signify that it is active, and it is.
Is it reachable? Like, can I grab it? Or is it too high up for that?
You want a boost?
So it's above.
Oh, that's okay.
You can reach it on your own, but if you get a boost, you can.
Oh yeah.
Because these will probably be like Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable connected kind of thing, power over Ethernet. So pull the cable out and just jam it in. Just like put it into like a firewire, like a firewall box, and then into my laptop. And then see if I get anything from pinging the server on the other end and seeing if there's anything on that end, or if it's just the power's out.
I'm going to need you to make a. It will be a hacking check.
Is that just computer intelligence again?
Yeah, computer intelligence. Sorry, yes. I'm getting my games mixed up. So it is against a certain thing from happening. So it is contested, and if you succeed, then
2 successes.
So, as you plug it in, it doesn't, because you've plugged in a different device. The network locks you out.
At least their security expert is not an idiot. So that is a positive thing.
From that, you could determine that there is at least power.
There is power to the facility, though, so that is a good sign. At least.
How are these doors secured? How are these doors secured?
So make an investigation check for me.
Intelligence investigation?
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yes. Yes. Intelligence investigation.
I would.
I'll also allow wits and investigation as well.
I would prefer. That is 3 successes with 2 10s. So.
Ooh, very nice.
That's 4 successes.
Okay, cool. So, the doors themselves aren't locked as such. It's more that they're. It's more that there is. They rely partially on their weight to stay closed, and that there would be an electromagnetic lock, but that is
seems
not
to
operational.
Have been, yeah. So this can be levered apart rather than.
It can be, yes. So you will be able to get through. However, can I have a strength athletics or strength and so I need to remind myself what I think Paul was just unanswered.
Just in case it matters, I forgot that the merits I mean that I have 9 again on investigation, which means I actually got 6 successes.
So
if there is no more information to be had, that's fine. I just
not that I can think of offhand.
Cool.
If there's a little tidbit that I can throw, and I can throw that in.
Good.
But yeah, so I will either need you can either brute force it, which will be strength and athletics, or you can apply. It depends if you want to use something like a crowbar or something. In which case,
my plan was to get a crowbar from the van.
Perfect. Okay, so you'll get your choice of strength or dex, and then athletics, and there are no bonuses for using the crowbar, but it negates the negative penalty for trying to move such a heavy door.
2 successes.
Okay, cool. So it takes quite a bit of effort, but after a few minutes, you pry the door open. I just need to make that. I'm going to move us to the first one. I'm going to pre-warn you, it might be loud, and I will turn it down if that occurs.
Cool.
Has that moved you all across?
Yep.
It's still loading.
Okay.
Oh, an alarm.
That's always a good sign.
Cool. So, consider that the alarm is ringing continuously, but so that we're not all driven insane, I will turn that down slightly.
I will, at this point, considering I can see bodies, check that everyone is armed.
Yes, I'm armed. I'm carrying.
The usual, I know. Say?
Yes, there he is.
So the sunlight from outside pierces the room. Inside, it is incredibly dark. So there are a series of things that you will notice. So your EM reader and your just your EM reader will jump slightly. So it's not dangerous, but it is a higher concentration of.
So EMF is spiking, but Gauss isn't.
Correct.
Okay.
So you are stood. So while the outside was a concrete constructed building, you are standing on metal decking, for want of a better word. It's you can kind of see below you, but you can see rock below you. So there is an alarm blaring. It is very dark. There is a pool of blood almost immediately at the entrance, and there is a security guard laying face down, and appears to have been shot in the back of the head. Yes.
Can we see the other room there?
So you can see through it slightly. What you can see, because that is a solid glass, like security glass panel. So you get the impression that is you're in some kind of security checkpoint, and on the other side there are chairs and computers, presumably where they would vet you as you came in. Let me just see what you can see.
Are the computers on as well? I can see the screens like glowing
Yes.
onto them.
Yeah, perfect. I'm glad that is coming across. So you can see a body again laying down in that room, unsure what has happened to this person, and then through the door, you can actually see it is a red carpeted area.
Neat.
VIPs, perhaps? Something
Maybe.
along those lines?
It's always the rich folks that got the bunkers anyway, so...
I mean, that's what this is. It's monster capitalism, so it makes a kind of sense.
Noble Dungeon Master.
I have unpaused it so you can move. And yes.
Could I, perchance, make some kind of crime scene investigation roll to work out the sequence of events that happened here?
Yes, you can.
Cool. I'm rolling a nice handful of dice.
Good number.
Wow. I truly rolled 9 dice, and I got 1 success.
Okay, it's still a success. So there are claw and bite marks that seem to have gone through some of his clothing, but they look relatively superficial. So he was running towards the door when he was gunned down.
Okay. Do the bite marks, do they happen perimortem?
They would happen pre-mortem.
And okay, sure. Is he armed still?
Yes.
Is there anything that he is carrying that is outside of the normal, what you would expect for a guard? It's just a gun. It's not got magic taser goo.
No, they look like standard firearms. You do find his sort of ID badge, and it says OS4S2 Jason Waters.
Red, could you do your thing?
Yeah.
Find out who this bloke is.
Without access to their database, not really, no. But I can find out some stuff about him in terms of general things. So I'll pop open the laptop and start looking up with my satellite connection to the van.
So, so the signal's starting to get poor, but you stood here at the entrance. You do still have a connection. So all that it says is that Jason Waters was a security officer working for Scorpion Holdings. There will be general bits about his life.
He's got the wife,
yeah,
kids. They're all orphans now.
You will notice that there have not been any updates for 2 weeks. His death occurred within the last 24 hours.
Okay.
Are there previous... Oh, sorry, Karen.
It looks like he's been in lockdown for at least 2 weeks or something along those lines, but...
Has that happened before?
Well, you can see here on his Facebook posts that he was doing rock climbing, he posts a lot of selfies. Oh, look, here's one at Starbucks. Got the nice, pumpkin spice latte picture, but yes, and then it just all of a sudden stops. And then
but has he been on lockdown before? Are there any other gaps at the same time?
I see, if there's any other gaps.
There are. So
it's his shifts.
They're usually month-long in duration.
Sure. Not bad, Simon. I'll throw the ID badge to Simon. Si?
Can I scan because it's probably got an RFID tag in it. Can I scan it before we give it to Simon?
So when you scan it, it once again gives his personnel number, which is OS4S2. I've got a note of that. You don't have to remember it. It gives his position and security clearance, which would give you access to most of the building if that was needed.
Right. You want to cover me?
Sure. I'd like to get into that security room if you can, but it looks like there's doors on the other side.
Doors at the back.
Yeah.
Red carpeted area.
So, do you want observations from outside the door?
Yeah, first of all.
Yeah, okay, cool. So,
wait, that's not red carpet.
Yeah, so it looks relatively high quality red carpet. There's even quite an interesting, quite a comfy looking sort of sofa in one of the corners. Beyond that, there's not very much that you can ascertain.
Is there stuff on the walls, like pictures of art or posters?
Yes, there would be. Good question. So they are general sort of company posters for Scorpions, for Scorpion Holdings. So
as if this was a posh office, or what kind of vibe is the...
You get the kind of vibe is it's either a waiting room, or kind of like a lobby.
Sure.
So
Is there like a water
but
cooler and stuff in here?
oh yeah, for sure. There's yeah, and yeah, it's literally just the other side of the door. So as you step onto the carpet, there is there it's soft and then solid, but not all the way through. You get the impression that posh carpet has been laid over the same metal grating.
Sure. Just the veneer of affluence.
Yeah.
That's what rich people really care about.
What do you think, guys? Which way?
Are all
Right.
these doors regular doors? Because you've got this access card. Are any of them badged?
So there are badge readers on all of the doors, but they
All
are
of them.
blank. Like there's no signal whatsoever.
Sure.
Um,
Okay, directional lads.
I suppose in this, no, they wouldn't have signs. Yeah, cool.
Well,
pick a direction.
I want to get to that security room because it's going to the
Yeah.
most unlocked computer. So that way, to the right.
The guy in the other room in the entranceway was gunned down, right?
Yes, he was.
Are there any shell casings in this room?
So now that you look for them, because it's quite nice carpet.
Shag pile.
And, yeah. There are several shell casings buried in the carpet. That is as much as you'll get without.
Could I also check what caliber of weapon?
Yeah, I kind
They're
of hand
from.
them over to you're the expert on weapons.
It's relatively small arms fire. It looks like it was fired from a very similar weapon that the armed guard had.
And is that automatic or semi-automatic or pistol?
So that one would be it would be a small assault rifle like the MP5.
Similar thing to what I've... Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, precisely.
Before we go any deeper, does anyone want to get anything from the van?
Do you want any explosives?
Always, but I don't think it's going to be useful in a contained environment. There's body armor in a green cupboard. Sidearms, blue cupboard. Don't go near me grenades.
You give me a minute, and then you'll go and get some body armor.
Because I think we're probably still wearing it from the whole jet fiasco. So
yes. So you've not got very far. You can easily run out and grab body armor and guns if that is. So
I'll have obviously. I'll be honest, I will have some non-lethal stuff as well.
Cool.
Is there a sword in there?
A sword?
I don't go much in for, prancing
Rome
about.
is enough of a weeb. There's definitely so.
Oh, that's like got a wall-mounted katanas, like a pair, and the big one and the small one.
And he accidentally bought a real one once, and was like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, based off the rule of cool, I'm happy for you to have.
That is very funny. Yeah. Obviously, I've got my emotional support knife, but no one can have that. I need it.
Because I respect away from gunplay to Simon's much more a person who would stab you in the back. So he's gonna go down.
He 100% has a sword cane. 100% Riddle has bought a sword cane at some point and is like sitting there, and you go chunk. Oh.
I'll bring a couple of flashbangs, but I won't bring any kind of like lethal grenade, considering we're going into a bunker, and that's probably going to be as dangerous for us as it is for anyone else.
Yeah, give me just 2 moments. Sorry, I need to make a slight change. It's not going to affect anything. It's literally just a token, and I want to do it while I remember.
Sure.
Apologies.
No, that's absolutely fine. There we go. I've.
Almost. This token has no vision at all.
Oh, I. Right. Hold on. Yep.
I appreciate very much the fact that Simon looks like he could be Lucas's disappointed dad, and honestly, that has not hurt the kind of relationship that is developing there.
He's got what's his name from shit. Oh, terrible names. The Country Roads man. That's how I remember.
Mark Strong?
Oh,
Little bit.
the Scottish guy.
Are you talking about Kingsman 2?
Yes, Kingsman 2.
Mark Strong. Mark Strong.
Yeah. Bit of Mark Strong on the face, yeah.
I like it.
Crossed with the facial shape of Hugh Laurier's house.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Right, let's go.
Right, yes. Happy to go. Yes, let's move out.
Okay, so
More casualties.
Commissary?
Yeah, so the door pushes open easily, and inside is kind of like a dining hall. There are a selection that there are. Can you see? Okay, yes. So there are 3 bodies on the floor. They are very much dead. There are bits of food. There are a lot of like candy bars on along the tables. There are vending machines along to the left.
How long does it look like they have? Does it look like they have been subsisting down here for some time, and then something got in and shot them, where to the point they were eating candy bars to stay alive because it was what they had?
So they don't look too malnourished. You will need to get closer to that to do some kind of inspection.
Yeah.
But there's also more information that will be revealed later on that you can't ascertain here.
Sure.
So the person closest to you was shot. Along with so how do I ping game? Is it double click? So that person and that person appears to have been shot. That person is missing most of its face.
As in claw marks and bite marks?
Yes.
Does it look like any one of these people did those injuries to any of the others?
So what, as in like the claw marks and bite marks?
Or gunshot from him?
So, yes. Can I have a crime scene roll, please?
You most certainly can.
Because if ever there was a roll for it,
Yeah.
try and piece out what occurred.
No ways. That's better. 3 successes.
Okay, so...
Nope, beg pardon, sorry. Nope, still 3 successes. Yeah.
Okay, so it appears as if they were shot by the guard in the corner. However, there are a lot of shells on the floor, and the wounds themselves are not really aimed at centre mass for any of them. They were injured, and if they'd received medical treatment, they probably would have survived. They bled out.
Could I make a supposition that he was blind firing at something?
That is a...
And these two were caught in the crossfire. So I think he gets out like a little swab for like powder residue, sticks it in a test tube, it turns blue to a degree that, you know, he was wild firing an automatic weapon for some time.
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
Is there a... So presumably whatever lashed this guy's face
had
some blood on its claws. Is there a blood trail in a particular direction?
There is it leads. It leads over there. One last thing, though, as you're walking past the vending machines, you see a post-it note stuck to it. I'm hoping this is just going to show you. Yeah, I'm hope. Yes, cool. That's fine. So you see this note that hopefully is titled machine.
I have an additional question.
Yes.
The blood trail going away.
Yep.
What kind of creature made that trail?
Something with paws and claws.
Paws and claws, not human plantigrade feet.
Correct. Best guesses. A dog, wolf.
A canid of some kind.
Yes.
How full are these vending machines?
They're almost empty.
How quickly can these doors be opened and closed?
So their default is that they close. It's just a case of you push them open and then they will swing. They will then swing shut. You get the impression that if there was more power, they'd be electromagnetically locked and you'd have to swipe.
I think my first instinct is just to lob a flashbang in there, stun whatever's trapped in there, and then go in after.
Yeah, sure thing.
I will defer that to the group if anyone else have any other opinions, but...
I mean, at this point, I'm in more your wheelhouse than mine.
Good! Playing.
Is it worth... Simon's not going to ask. He's going to flip the table.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
just sort of MB5 in one hand, hit the door jamb, pin, grenade in, hit the thing again to close the door, and then...
Okay. So what you will see as you open the door and hear, so is that there's kind of a snarling beast that is coming towards you. I'll open it so you can see. So
Yep.
it goes off, and then you hear like a thump as if a running body has then impacted like a solid wall.
Good. It's going to be directly on top of the grenade when it goes off then.
So it comes charging towards you through the pin, the door closes, it goes off, and then you hear a bang.
Oh, okay.
So theoretically, if it was running and then stunned, and so it couldn't see, but it's still got forward momentum.
It's just crashed, yeah.
Yes. And it came from not the door, but the wall next to the door. You hear it come from
Like,
that
it's
way.
hit into there, yeah. I'm going to open the door and kill it.
Yeah. Cool.
Would you like a shooty roll?
Very much so. So this thing is, it kind of looks like a dog, except there are lumps that have grown out of the muscle that have literally pushed its way through the skin. The skin's just burst apart.
Delightful.
Its maws are covered with blood.
3 successes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, cool. So you put 3 rounds into this thing. It is still breathing. What would the others like to do?
I hear the 3 gunshots. Is it dead?
No!
Over the
I
barricade.
yeah, I think we both leap over the barricade and
Come to stab it with a big sword.
we'll take a few shots as well.
Okay.
You're the weirdest fucking office manager ever.
Pulls the fucking katana out, like.
And more importantly, looks like he knows how to use it.
Yeah. Let you
Fencing
go
was
first.
all the rage back when I went to college.
Fencing with a katana is the funniest image.
What am I rolling?
That's a mighty good question, isn't it?
Strength plus weaponry?
Yes. And again, this is all subject to change once I've read the new rules / rules.
A success.
Yay.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, you plunge your sword into the beast. It is not dead.
Then Brennan will take his shots now.
Incredibly injured. Cool.
1 success.
Cool. That is all you needed. So it collapses, and so there is a now within the very short space of time, you can now notice that its own blood is actually purple and is kind of boiling with once it comes into contact with air.
High potassium content, high sodium content, all kinds of stuff could cause that. I don't know what. I need a chemistry set to figure this out.
You familiar with things with purple blood, Si?
Nope.
No, afraid not.
Purple,
This
Right.
purple.
Is it more of the same story in here? Like, it got trapped
So-
in here when the electricity went out or something?
So, so you get it chased because hopefully you can now see. Yeah. So it was. You get the impression that it chased someone in here and has been happily eating on them, but not for a long period of time. Whatever happened within 6-7 hours or so.
So actually, this cook or whoever it is over here who got killed,
Yeah.
that was more recently than the guys in the.
But the,
So, because how long did I say the guy at the front?
Somewhere in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Can I
So-
make it? Can I make a sort of check to try and establish timeline of events based on like blood pooling and body temperature?
So, let's go
Like-
crime scene investigation.
well, that's like.
No whammies.
One dog is not enough to kill this many people, especially this many armed guards. Something else weird is going on here.
2 successes.
Okay, so the guy at the entrance died within the last 24 hours. The people in the canteen died within the last 6 hours, along with the person in the
In the cook in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's odd. It's kind of like a galley, but it's like it's been converted for office use. So you get the impression it was designed for a much larger complement of people, and now other things have been put in. The person who died is not a cook. They look like they were scientists of some description.
Can I frisk all these people for ID cards as well?
Yes. So you have got so you've got here. You've got Nico Downey, who is a scientist. Here you've got Luke Bowen, who appears to be an office worker of some description. Here you've got John Byrne, again another security officer, and here you've got Aya Adkins, who no you don't. You've got Zev Kramer, sorry, who is a scientist.
Nico Downey, scientist.
Yes.
I don't think I have any signal anymore, so we'll need to. If we want to know more about them, we'll need to go outside. But otherwise,
Or get into the security room.
yes, the security room will have more information on them. I'm just very confused. This one of these dogs is killed all these people. I don't
think there's one, Red.
So right, hold on. Now that you're in the kitchen and things are so, there are. Now that you look around, you notice there are several post-it notes written on several of the appliances in here. So I'm just gonna see. Can I? No, I've got to show them to you one by one. That's fine. There you go. Let me know when you're ready for the next one.
Okay.
Can you add these by any chance to the journal?
Yeah, so they are journal entries. Once they're available,
Sure.
I will add them in. In fact, actually, I'm going to read them out, and then I'll just make them available in the journal.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the recording. So, because I suddenly realised anyone listening back will have no idea what's going on. So the first one is stuck to the coffee machine, and it's handwritten instructions. It says how to make coffee. 1. Pick up kettle, go to the tap and fill kettle with water. 2. Return kettle to its base. 3. Switch kettle on. 4. Do not put hand in to test water temperature. 5. Once boiled, fill mug with water. Add 1 teaspoon, the small one, with coffee. Add milk, it's in the fridge. Stir together and leave for 10 minutes before drinking. The next one is called stove, and it says stove. Do not use the stove, it gets really hot and just causes burns. Unsure of its purpose, will theorize uses in the lab. Laura. And then last but not least, fridge. Seems to keep things cold. Keep milk, the white stuff, in here. Seems to work regardless of what's put in it. Items tried. Lettuce. Don't use this. The fridge turned it brown and mushy after a few days. Fork. The metal pointy one. Pasta. Coffee. The Yum Yum Go Juice. Shoe. Left. Shoe. Right.
If we open the fridge...
Is there a shoe in there?
Yeah, both those shoes. The pasta. So...
Is there anything in the fridge that is notably absent or present that should or shouldn't be from that list?
So there's no lettuce.
No human heads.
No. There are an odd selection of items, but no sinister items.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
I mean, I don't put shoes in my refrigerator, so...
Yeah.
This is very weird. It's
So
like they don't know how to be people.
What sort of shoe is it?
It is. So it'll be a sneaker of some description.
Is anyone missing their shoes?
Not that you have seen.
Were they training something or like educating somebody and had a lot of I don't know, learning difficulties or maybe memory issues?
Memory issues was what I was thinking, but I don't know.
It's very,
Back to the other room. You mentioned that there were a lot of wrappers everywhere.
Yes.
Was it so with each of the bodies?
Yeah.
Like, was it? Were they like sitting at the table with snacks, effectively?
Yes, they were.
Is this a thing that has affected everyone in the lab?
That is a theory.
They've suddenly woken up and gone, haven't got the fucking idea why I'm here or how things work.
Accidentally kill each other? Or the guard, if the guard didn't know what gun was.
Or if or if scientific personnel doesn't know like the monster that they also have in the facility. I'll just open this door.
I think I'm gonna take out a Sharpie and write on my arm. If you can read this and you don't know who Ali is, get out.
Gotcha. Cool.
That's not a bad shout.
And then I'm... Sorry, Karen.
If there is are there any spare post-it notes anywhere that we can see?
Yeah, so there are several blank ones dotted around. There's...
Wait. I'm going to fingerprint those post-it notes before anyone touches them. And then fingerprint each of the corpses we've seen so far.
Ooh, very cool. Okay. So you will get...
For a bad cop, Lucas was a really good cop.
I think Riddle will take like pictures of their handwriting and then if this doesn't work for whatever reason, like they're too smudged, he will go to the entrance and try to do handwriting analysis based on their stuff that they have on their social medias.
Cool. So the handwriting on the vending machine matches John Byrne, who was the security guard you found here. The ones in the kitchen do
Fingerprints start matching, maybe?
So the ones in the kitchen don't match anyone that you've got. Some of the blank ones that you've got in here will match the scientists, Nico and was it Zev?
Zev, yeah.
Yeah.
So good guess. They were writing these notes to themselves.
Once you finished dusting the fingerprints, Simon will grab a Sharpie, write on it, put it on his chest, and it will say "friend," and will give you the most predatory smile he can.
I was actually going to do an X on the back of the hand, and then do that to each of you as well. And yeah.
And X means friend?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's what it says on that arm.
X means friend. If you don't know what this means, look at laptop and then Riddle will write in something.
Do you want to go check out the security then?
That makes sense.
Yes, that makes the most sense.
As I'm stepping out of here, I think Lucas sort of steps out, goes, hang on, steps back in and just puts about 9 more rounds into the thing.
I don't blame him, really.
Yeah.
Cool. It's probably about 50% dissolved at this point. Yeah. Cool. Perfect.
Well, we learned a lesson about not assuming people are dead last week, didn't we? Yesterday.
That's true.
Cool.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
So before you are appears to be an office of some description. There are sort of computers, chairs.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And so the people here. Sorry, let me just check. So they are dead. This one was shot once in the head. The other two don't have any immediate signs of trauma in any way.
ID cards again.
So yeah, okay. So so the one shot in the head is Kieran Olsen, and it's their head administrator. So then the two you've got Avital Huber, and Aya Adkins.
And they aren't showing any signs of trauma.
They are no obvious signs of trauma.
Does it line up? They seem to have died around the same time as anyone else.
So, I'm going to need another crime scene investigation check, please. Sorry to make you do that again. But
I will never be sorry to be asked to do that. Except when I drop a very sharp metal die on the floor in the dark.
That is not so good.
Hold on. Well, that's not good. My feet will find it later.
Oh dear.
3, 4, 5. These ones. Six successes.
Ooh, very good. So, the one who was shot in the head died about 4 hours ago.
So it's getting more recent as we go through.
Yes and no. So, there is a single shell casing on the floor here and a single shot to the head. This was far more deliberate than any of the previous attacks.
And that's Aya Adkins who's been shot?
No, that was Kira Alton. Kieran Alton, the head administrator. And
does it look self-inflicted?
No.
Gunshot residue on either of the hands of the other two?
No. You get the impression that they were moving towards someone over here when they were very deliberately shot in the head. So this researcher choked 24 hours ago while trying to eat a whole pencil. And then...
Kudos for how fucked this is, Mike.
Thank you very much.
They just forgot that they were people?
And then this person, hold on, who is... so that's Aya Adkins, and they... there are no visible signs of trauma. As far as you can tell, they just stopped breathing.
Did they forget to breathe?
That's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, but we seem difficult. Can I check for cyanosis in the lips?
Yes, remind me what that would indicate.
That would be greyish-blue pallor to the lips, and it would indicate that they died of asphyxia.
Ooh, so...
They suffocated rather than were strangled.
So they suffocated. So as far as you can tell, they just stopped breathing.
Yeah.
There was no outside force that forced them to occur. Because you rolled a critical success, right?
I did 6. If 6 is indeed a critical success, I rolled 6.
So 5 is a critical success. So there is a blockage in the airway, but it is not something they have swallowed. It appears that either something has grown into their airway, or their airway has shrunk.
Anaphylaxis.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it. Possibly.
Could I go and check? That's Aya Adkins, right?
Yeah, that one is. Yes.
I'm gonna go and find her handbag and see if she had an EpiPen.
Cool. So, no, no EpiPen can be found.
Just wondering if she forgot she was allergic to nuts.
In her jacket pocket, though, you would find a unused EpiPen, and there is.
Does she have a medical alert bracelet?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
But there is a half-eaten packet of peanuts under the desk.
So, could you just run through the people we have so far?
Yep.
I've got their causes of death.
Yep.
And I just need to know when a roughly rough time of death. So Jason Waters at the entrance, 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
The cafeteria scientists.
6 hours ago.
The guard who was clawed to death, John Bird.
6 hours ago.
And the office worker who got shot as well, 6.
6 hours ago.
The Zev Kramer, the scientist.
So that was 6 hours ago. That one's harder to tell
because of the soup that this person is.
So yeah, they've been eaten by an animal. So
yeah,
that will mar time of death. But you have rolled quite well.
So, but the evidence seems to indicate it happened around the same time. Not even necessarily looking at the body evidence, looking at the other physical evidence.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
then
the office workers.
Yeah.
So the one who was shot in the head, that's 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
So the one who swallowed a pencil or attempted to, that's 24 hours ago. And it's between 22 and 24 hours ago for the allergy, which I will now confirm at this stage because you guessed it.
We've sussed it.
Yeah.
I'd make a terrible cop, but I do watch a lot of cop shows.
Yeah.
They all forgot who they were. They forgot everything about whoever they were, and now
even the basest instincts of self-preservation.
Well, an allergy is not something you're going to necessarily know, so fair enough. But Pencil Lady over here has definitely very little excuse.
Oh, you should know I'm allergic to strawberries.
Strawberries.
Yeah.
I will remember that.
Pretty bad, actually. Yeah.
Were they sat at their chairs?
So the one who was shot in the head was not. The other two were.
This one was walking towards the door.
Yes. They were either walking or running. It's difficult to tell because the force of the gunshot pushed them back and they fell onto their back.
Can we see the trajectory in... I presume the bullet is lodged in this wall?
Yes.
Can we work out angle of penetration from that and see...
They were slightly taller, but they would have been stood literally just the other side of that.
But so were they stood in this room or in that room?
It would have been in that room.
In that room, okay. Do these doors open?
So, yeah, that was originally meant to be a secret door, but I've realised in the map I've added it as an actual door. So, and you already know there's something there. So yeah, you feel along, and there's kind of, it's meant to look like just a wall, but when you slide it, it will open.
Those are the computers I want.
Okay.
Go to town. This bloke.
Are they powered?
These computers.
There is a low level of power. Yep. There's some stuff that I'm going to give you. I've made it available in the journals tab, but I'm going to read it out. So there is a when you fire it up, there is a document that I haven't added into here. That's annoying. There is a document that reads. It's as if it was being halfway constructed. So. The staff have gone crazy. The beasts have escaped, and Atara's trying to let them out. Sorry. The staff have gone crazy. Atara has just has just released the animals. I'm locking down the facility, and I'm going to check the generator. And then
available.
Yeah. So there's a there is something that will scan ID badges. There's an option to unlock or lock security doors. There are a series of security cameras, but they're all offline. There's an error under the auto guns advising that signal's been lost. And there is a system lockdown, release and enable, and enable is highlighted, implying that it has been activated.
This bloke on the floor, how'd he die?
Okay, so he can you roll me a crime scene investigation? Now that you're this side as well, I can.
5 successes.
Cool, perfect. Right, so now that you've got this side, you couldn't have seen there is a second guy who is dead there as well. So, but he's actually kind of underneath the glass, like you wouldn't have been able to see him from here.
So he's under the console somewhat.
Yes, yeah. So, with a 5, so initial signs look like he was waterboarded. However, it is more likely that he attempted to just drink liquids without removing his face mask, because he kind of had like a balaclava on, and he just poured liquid onto his balaclava until he drowned. And that happened around 24 hours ago as well. And then this guy was shot about 4 hours ago.
By someone else or himself?
By someone else.
So top guy drowned.
No. Bottom guy drowned.
Top guy was shot by someone else.
Yes.
But
again, looking at the trajectory, there would have been someone stood about there, about the same place that shot the other. So someone was stood there, shot one security guard, shot the admin person, and is now not there.
And can you give me the times and names for those?
Yes. So guy who drowned about 24 hours ago, and that is George Thompson. Person who was shot, and that was about 4 hours ago, was Sarah Levine.
Sarah Levine.
Yes. So within the PC as well, you've also got access to several emails.
Sweet.
So for the benefit of the recording, I will read them out, but again, they are available in the journal tab if you want to read them. So this has been sent to 18 people from Braden Brooks. Dear staff, following a recent attempt to shut down the generators, I would like to remind all staff that access to the generator room is strictly forbidden. I don't care what your excuses are or who you say told you to do it. Only qualified Scorpion technicians are permitted to work on the generator. I will be posting guards to restrict access, and they will be permitted to use lethal force. Consider this your only warning. And that is Braden Brooks, Chief Security Officer.
I have a question.
Yes.
This place is called Scorpion Holdings, and that is a grill a day bush cricket. Is that relevant?
So, it is not. What occurred there is I put Scorpion into an AI art generator until it came up with something cool, and then I picked that as the logo.
Yeah, I had to ask. You know, I had to ask.
Yes, yeah. So I quite like the look of it. So I appreciate that is not a Scorpion.
No, I fully get it. Yeah.
But that is their logo that is posted across there. And then there is another one. So this is labelled security concern. So it starts off by Braden Brooks. Hi, Atara. I would like to bring to your attention a string of concerning events. Staff members have complained of headaches, confusion, and even memory loss. The timing of our most recent addition seems too coincidental to ignore. I have serious concerns about containment procedures. They seem woefully inadequate. I admit that science is not a strong area for me, but the risk seems far too high, and I recommend immediate termination of the subject. My team are equipped to deal with physical threats, including those pets you have locked up in there. Don't deny it. I don't know what you expected me to think all the raw meat was for. But your new asset is something else, and clearly something we don't understand. I've obtained the agency report from the Dauntless. It was far from a mechanical accident, not that any of us believe that anyway. Granted, they can't even keep their own staff safe from the mundane. 2 high-ranking deaths in 2 weeks. I think they genuinely believe they were accidents, which is laughable to me. What I am saying is you're playing with forces you do not understand, and that could end catastrophically. I sincerely hope you listen to me and terminate immediately. And that's from Braden Brooks. There is a reply.
When were these emails sent?
So these emails were sent. So the email to all occurred. Would have occurred about 48 hours ago.
Yeah.
And then the security concern would have been sent about 50 hours ago.
50.
So the security concern came first, then the warning to all staff. The reply is, "Hi Braden, I appreciate your concern, but there is insufficient data to reach that conclusion. I postulate that prolonged isolation and fatigue are far more likely to be the culprit. We're sitting on a goldmine of data here. If we can harness the power, we'll dwarf those idiots at the agency. If your team is struggling, then I suggest rotating them more frequently or request a relief team from HQ. We do have animals in the lab, but they're well contained. I am not concerned. My staff appreciate your efforts to keep us safe, but I can rest assure you that we have this thing contained. Risk is the price of breakthrough." And that's from Atara Lang, who is chief scientist. And then the final and short reply is, "Hi Atara, unfortunately you have the board's approval to proceed. I shall honour the request, but please consider it done under protest."
And Braden Brooks is
the chief
security officer.
Yeah, but he's there.
No,
we haven't found him.
We have not found him yet.
I've been keeping a track. If you look in WAD, I've been keeping a track of who each person is and where we found them.
So maybe Braden is still alive, kicking, and
Of note, the email to all has 18 contacts listed, so plus Braden himself.
This
So at
is
least 10.
You reckon you can get a schematic of this place from the computers, right?
I would need to release a security lockdown, so whoever else is in here would be able to access it. But I could try and lock them out, though.
Didn't you say that release was implied to be on?
The system is currently locked.
System's currently locked. Okay. Can I have a poke through the drawers in here and see if there's any emergency evacuation protocols which would have a map of the place?
Because there's no power, nothing is locked. Doesn't seem to be much of a lockdown.
There is
the generator is possibly.
There is low-level lighting. You raise a good point. There is insufficient data. I can't say why yet.
Yeah.
But from a UI perspective, it implies that the lockdown is we are currently locked down.
Correct.
Okay.
Maybe the more secure bits that are more heavily locked down, the further in.
Or it could be a backup battery that's going to keep the power and the lights on until something happens. If I release the lockdown, I can get into things.
But so can everyone else.
I can lock it to one account. Who's ever got the highest security clearance at the tags we've got? If you can riddle the things, he'll start flipping through them.
But Atana was the one who was letting the things out, so she's the chief scientist. She can have the highest access level.
Not necessarily. Security officers tend to have a greater... For security systems, they tend to be higher.
So
she probably wouldn't be able to override him on her own. That's why she was emailing him.
So you will note that the system lockdown occurred about 4 hours ago and was initiated by Braden Brooks.
Yes. It's very... Is it likely that... If I... Because Riddle would probably think how these things works. He'll try one of the other security... Like, release lockdown.
Okay, so you will get 2 errors, and it goes insufficient privileges, insufficient power.
That's fine. That's what I figured would happen. We need Braden's key.
The security lockdown, did it have to be did it have to be started from here?
Probably. There is it. So with limited power and the server offline, there is very little. You are unsure if there are additional control consoles elsewhere.
So there could be other ones.
But
are these physical PCs or are they dumb terminals?
So they will be. So they
are
would.
Are they just screens connected to?
So they'd be physical PCs. So there's a screen and a base.
And then there's a base unit. Okay. Riddle goes underneath, yanks the cables from them, and then starts taking. He's gonna try and boot into like the BIOS, and then get into there, and then go into like see what hard drives are available to it, that kind of stuff. Start trying to bypass the higher level security functions.
Okay. Can you make a computer intelligence check?
Yes, I can.
And this will be, again, technically contested against the network administrator.
I'm not rolling well.
That's fine. They were not having a good day that day. So you managed to bypass the security, and you can bypass the security requirements required for the system lockdown. So you can release it if you want to. However, there is currently insufficient power to do so. So you will still need to fix that. And there is there's still no connection to the server. So you're not sure if the server is on site or off site, but you will get the impression that the connection has physically been severed. So it's not a case of computer skill to access it. It is a hardware fault.
Could be a dish somewhere or something like that, or the server itself could be off. It doesn't. It's good security. It's like the server is offline. There could be millions of things. So, but if you get the generator back on, like in the stupid fucking alarm.
All right, let's head in.
Should we go deeper?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do we want to go out this way or?
Down would be.
Let's go further in.
I'd rather. Well, I think Lucas would rather. Joe agrees with you. Lucas would rather check this way in case we're going to get blocked off. Although, actually, no. There's no way he'd know which way there was more of the map of. So never mind.
This.
Is there any signage in the view doors?
Is there any what? Sorry.
Signage.
So I originally said no, but I Not.
That's right.
No, because this is a lobby, so yeah, there would be. So you've got. So the sign over this door says boardroom. The sign over this door says eatery. And then the sign over this door says labs. And then the sign over this door says exit. Can I have a perception check as well, please?
Ooh.
Blind this one?
Blind, please. Because I'm curious to see if you notice something. That is a lot of dice. Cool. Okay, so right. So unfortunately, Simon doesn't notice this, but the other two do. In this corner, there is an indent that you get the impression that something was written here quite a long while ago, and you can make out the words USS Philadelphia.
As if this physical structure and metal has been repurposed from...
That is a theory.
What is the knowledge check for USS Philadelphia? Because I feel like we've heard that before.
You have.
The Chronosphere Project.
Yes. Which is in the conspiracy.
Yeah. So I go back outside and have a look at the building, and does it have hallmarks of this is like the top battleship? Like this is like the what's it called? The command control centers kind of thing.
Yeah. So this is. You get the impression that this is a section of the battle of a battleship that has materialized into rock, and they built the concrete entrance around the front of it to safeguard it. And that's why there are things like carpeted area over metal decking.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
So they found it. They found it and decided we're just going to build a base. Like, yeah.
So you will note that your EMF meter is given above average readouts while you were in this place.
Given it was a ship that was teleported, that doesn't seem surprising.
Lucas, by the way, body cam recording from this moment on.
Yeah.
That's going straight on the dark web.
Shall we?
Yeah.
May as well. Yep.
Steps.
As you come through, yeah, so you can see steps that lead down. I know the picture says they're wooden, but they are metallic steps that lead down into a darker area.
It's all more part of the... Is there meant to be a door there?
Yeah, originally I was going to do something fancy with teleporters, so that if you were to step on it, it would zap you to the next bit. But I couldn't figure out how to get it working, so I've just left.
There are like 4 different add-ons that do that, and 3 of them are complicated.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? I'll just physically move you across to the next section if you decide to go.
This one down, this down here, is this further on the same level, or does this represent what is below?
No, this is all on the same level. The area below is a different map that I will move you onto.
Sure.
Can I pull up the schematics for the USS Philadelphia, the original one? Because that might give us an idea.
You can. Would that? Yeah. Okay. So
it's an old enough ship. It's probably not even like the schematics for it aren't even protected.
So it is.
Well, not even that specific one. That class of ship as well.
Yeah. Well, no, because World War II era shit. All the ships are kind of they're yes, they're a class, but they're like kind of the same. You usually need
Right.
usually.
It's also difficult because the metal skeleton may exist, but
Yeah.
the entire area has been retrofitted.
Yeah. I'm expecting partition walls and all kinds of additions, but it might give a good idea of like the general structure.
So yeah, you're kind of at the front. There's another there's like another wing section that comes out to say about here. I don't know if you can see me pinging on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's another section along here, and then there's another section. This is a much bigger section, possibly originally munition storage, or it was a very large area. And then below looks to be almost a carbon copy of everything below you.
Hey, 3 of us on a creepy fucking ship.
And
Good times, eh?
This is the second. Why does this keep happening? It's if you know, it's like that phrase. If I had a nickel, this shouldn't happen twice.
Oh, from Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, that's the one.
And definitely not on land. So the area to your south is this is a pristine looking clean room. There are lockers. There's a computer panel there. There are some very heavy looking doors here.
Are these doors bulkhead or are they glass?
So they're also, these ones are kind of like bulkheaded, whereas this one seems to have been specially retrofitted. Like, this is a much sturdier looking door.
So we have the original doors except for the south one, which is...
Correct.
How clean is this clean room? So, go on.
There's a small amount of like dirt, dust, and possibly some bullet casings that might have rolled about. But
guess what I'm trying to get at is that there is some sort of animal in the restaurant area. I'm going to assume for a second it didn't get teleported in there. So it must have come from the lab direction. Is there any sort of like dog fur? Is there like paw prints in what is it's supposed to be a sterile, clean room?
That is a really good question, and that is going to be an investigation check, please. Intelligence investigation. 2 successes. So there are no signs of footprints. There are humanoid footprints, but there are no animal footprints, suspiciously so.
So the animals weren't stored here? They were stored below us, perhaps? So they didn't go this way?
Maybe.
Check the lockers for anything useful.
Sure, crack them open.
Cool. So there's some white lab coats. There's also some what I'll refer to as like civilian clothes, so things you'd change back into out of. There are pairs of shoes. There's one area. They're all similar looking sneakers. You'll notice that there is one bay that does not have either of those sneakers. Possibly because they're in a fridge somewhere.
Are there name tags on these lockers?
No.
Okay.
How many coats?
So there would be. I'm going to say Oh no, I know there are 7 coats.
You want to pop one of these doors, see what's on the other side?
Seems as good an idea as any. I think the generator and the animal pens are both us, so that's not any issues.
Try this one.
You sure about that? That eye, the heavy door.
Maybe.
Okay.
Red, this one for you.
Yep.
Cool. So, so in here,
Battleship's main computers, war room kind of style.
Yeah. So they look like they've kind of kept the old casing, but may have retrofitted. There's some which I've now. So you find quite a few records here, which I've now made available, but I will read out. If I make that just a little bit bigger. So the first entry says entity phase beast. Method: leave canine in unshielded area for extended period to promote mutation. Hypothesis: leaving animal in unshielded area will cause tumors that promote compound X82 secretion that can be harvested for future experimentation. Subject 1C: canine was left in unshielded area for 1 hour. No changes noted. Vivisection revealed no presence of tumors. Subject terminated. Subject 2C: canine was left in unshielded area for 1 day. No changes noted. Vivisection revealed early indicators of tumors. Subject terminated. Subject 3: canine was left in unshielded area for 3 days. Rational behavior noted before death occurred. Dissection indicated rapid tumor growth throughout body. Subject terminated. Subject 4: canine was left in unshielded area for 3 days, injected with cancer inhibitors FM101. Vivisection revealed tumours isolated to the pineal region with negligible levels of compound X82. Subject terminated. Subject 5: canine was left in unshielded area for 7 days, injected with cancer inhibitors FM101. Subject suffered fatal tumour growth, compound X82 present, but not in sufficient quantities for harvesting. Subject terminated. Subject 6: canine left in unshielded area for 7 days, injected with cancer inhibitor FM102. Vivisection revealed compound X82 present, harvested X82. Procedure resulted in the death of subject. Subject terminated. Subject 7: canine was left in unshielded area for 7 days, injected with cancer inhibitors FM102. Subject exhibited ability to phase through materials. Staff were able to recapture subject. EMFC, electromagnetic collapse field, established. Subject unable to phase through the field. Keep for observation. Subject active. And subject 8: canine was left in unshielded area for 7 days, injected with cancer inhibitor FM107Y. Subject gestated humanoid entity with innate phase abilities. New entity moved to EMCF cell and named entity XM82A. Keep both for observation. Subject alive.
That doesn't sound good.
Skip to the good bit, eh?
So there are 3 remaining entries, one labelled Equine, one labelled XM82AV1, and XM82AV2. Do you want me to do them in order, or do you want to skip to a particular one?
It looks like Rune is reading this. It looks like the horse go particularly well. If I'm honest, I'm guessing the size of the animal caused an issue.
Yeah, so if I read out again for the benefit of the recording, so equine entity phase behemoth, leave Equus cavillus, horse basically, in unshielded area for extended period to promote mutation. Hypothesis: leaving animal in unshielded area will cause tumours that promote compound X82 secretion that will manifest phase ability. Subject 1E: equine was left in unshielded area for 7 days, injected with cancer inhibitors FM102. Subject exhibited ability to phase through materials. The EMCF field established. Subject unable to phase through the field. Keep for observation. Subject active. Subject 2E, equine left in unshielded area for 1 hour, planned for 7 days. Injected with cancer inhibitor FM107Y. Subject suffered catastrophic adverse reaction. Subject terminated. And the new entity method: study XM82A in hopes to replicate innate phase ability. Hypothesis: scanning XM82 may allow for the replication of phase ability. Failing that, termination and dissection may allow for a brute force replication. Subject contained in EMCF cell to prevent escape. Periodic scans have proved fruitless, partially due to the field and partly due to the seeming lack of physical mana. Subject is vulnerable to N2O for short periods, allowing us for the taking of blood work. Subject has no blood. Awaiting the new shipment of N2O to allow whole body scan. Failing that, termination and dissection may be the only way to get up.
That's such a funny problem. Subject has no blood. Fuck.
Yeah.
The next one's even better.
Oh yeah.
Method: make friends with XM82A. Hypothesis: releasing XM82A from containment will lead to glory and happiness. Subject was forced into this world, mercilessly imprisoned and subjected to inhumane conditions. Releasing this entity is of highest priority. Attempted to deactivate cage. Security lockdown engaged. Will attempt to shut down the generators to release John. John is my friend. I trust John. I have betrayed John. John will show mercy. I love John.
Oh boy.
I would like to use an action to reload.
I will.
And I pull out my emotional support knife.
Absolutely fine.
I will take the Sharpie that I had for the post-it note and write on my hand, John is a liar.
Yeah, cool.
I just wrote, shoot John.
Fair.
Shoot John. John is not my friend. Not all Johns are not my friend. Specific John. You'll know which one it is.
I presume that is referring to a different John to John Byrne, the security guard.
Yes.
Well, we have no way of telling that, but I'm going to assume it for now.
Yes.
The creature that we killed in the kitchen is a canine rather than equine.
Yeah, phase beast canine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
It could face through walls.
Equus Ferus Cabalus is domestic horse. Yeah.
Yeah. And
This place is fucked. Who does that to dogs?
Can I now have a
sanity roll?
It's composure and resolve check, if I recall correctly.
Composure and resolve.
Is this to contest supernatural mind control?
It is, yes.
Cool.
That is a success from me.
Cool.
One success for me.
One success.
2 successes.
3 successes.
No, 4 successes because they all have +2 for me.
Oh, damn. Okay, very cool. So, cool. So, yeah. There are no ill effects.
Do we notice that we have been successful in resisting something, or?
Yeah. The way you note it though is that you're slightly tired.
So where it was talking about like tiredness and headaches in the scientist log, I've now got a headache. I'm feeling quite lethargic, even though it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
So no, because you've succeeded, you don't have the headaches. You are slightly tired.
Okay.
Critter pulls out a bottle from his bag. It's a caffeine. Pops.
Yeah, it's not so much. Imagine if you're doing like a lot of like mental work,
strain,
and you're really concentrating on something, and then it's that kind of level of tiredness. It's not that something has got to you; it's that you're slightly tired from resisting it.
Sure.
Right. We need to turn the stupid alarm off. I think. I'm feeling really tired. Anyone else feeling really tired?
Guys.
So,
Oh.
there is a creature that is asleep. Another one of the phase beasts.
You've what on me?
So,
Well, you know that saying the Americans have. Let's.
Does this thing look like it will be able to get out of the door? If it was really trying.
I mean, they can all phase, right?
So yeah, I will tell you two things. Firstly, it will easily fit through that door if it was open, and secondly, as has been noted before, there are no paw prints in this middle section. It did not walk through the door.
It phased through it. It's also possible that guns and bullets and all that shit will also phase through it, so maybe leave the damn dog alone. It's just a dog.
From a glance, all of the scientists have been mauled to death.
It's an angry dog, but it's just a
that
dog.
Killed people. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's the same thing with a lion. If you fuck with a lion, you don't exactly blame lion bitches. Just close the door quietly. It'll sleep over there. It's got plenty of food and whatever else. I don't feel bad for them. They did some stupid shit.
So the door that you're currently stood at, the control panel is dimly lit, but reads security lockdown engaged.
So we're going to have to go down.
Well... I pull out the gubbins from underneath it and start trying to hack my way through the keypad. Just to bypass the security lockdown.
So once again, you can, because it's the same check that you've done before, I will allow you to succeed on that. You can bypass the security, but there is physically not enough power to open the doors.
I can, yes. There's not enough juice to make the engine, the motors work, make the door. So unless we can get the car down, the door open, that's not going to happen. Or blow it apart, but I think that's a lot annoying.
Go down, see if we can get to the generators.
Get everything back up online, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you heading down the stairs?
It occurs to me that if somebody is trying to release John, the reason they can't is because of the security locked.
So the power turned off, but they were smart enough for it not to affect the secure part.
I would guess.
So we'll be. Are you heading down the stairs? Because that will answer your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are currently.
We got blood down south.
So it's kind of a storage area of selection of different lab chemicals and dry foods and things like that. You can kind of you can hear the hum of a generator, and you can see 2 dead bodies. So okay.
Right.
So the body you're currently stood over is Braden Brooks, Chief Security Officer. Died about 4 hours ago.
And I'm going to guess that's Alita.
So he was shot several times with a pistol. And
are we looking at a Rocky IV freeze frame ending mutual kill here?
Very much so, yes.
There's Atara over there. So Braden, Atara.
So So yeah, that is a Tara Lang, chief scientist. So currently
Saves me a job.
There are 3 generators. One of them is active. Another one there is thick black smoke coming from it, and it appears to be operational. And the other one is off. The console basically will give you a power layout, and in order of priority, it will power the EMC feed, the containment fields.
Electromagnetic containment field.
Yes, it will power those first, and then it will power any doors, and then thirdly, it will power all other things like primary lighting and things like that. So there's a small charge that will keep critical computers running, but you get the impression that this field is drawing immense power and is consuming almost the entire output of a single generator.
The fact that the dogs and probably the horse are free and loose means that John, whatever he is contained still. That is.
Anyway, we can get that little generator up and running. Repair it.
Tick, 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 and have a look at the output from the thing. Can I get the generator back on?
You can easily switch this one back on because it's all that's happened is it's been switched off. You note that it was switched off by Tara Lang.
She's like a login. It's like bink.
Yeah.
Oh, I need his thing.
So,
cute.
The final generator, although you get the impression that this one might not be needed, but the final generator, you would have to actively spend time repairing it.
How much time repairing it?
Can you make a quick
Crafts?
It's intelligence and craft, yeah.
2 successes.
Okay, so it's not outside of your skill range, and there's probably replacement parts, but it is several hours of work.
Cool.
Looking at the power structures, it's probably a redundant system. It's not gonna cause any problems for any of us, at least as far as I can tell at the moment.
Sure.
So have you switched generator number 2 on?
I'd say go for it.
If we do this, is the dog upstairs going to come say hello?
No.
No, because the security lockdown's still in effect.
The lights might come back on though. I need to make sure. I'll make it split.
Your mic cut out there for a second. Sorry.
I just want to make sure that the lights don't come back on when the power comes. Just
okay.
Make it so that the generator comes on, but what power gets diverted to? So just the doors for now.
Okay. Yeah. Sure thing. That is absolutely fine.
Boop.
Cool. Okay. So the generator sort of roars into life, and you start to get little bars slowly fill up on your screen. There is now. So the doors to the room, will close, and you see the magnetic locks engage. But the card reader, the card reader pops up. So you get the impression that power to systems has been restored at this stage, but you've disabled the lights, so it will remain at this current lighting level.
Okay.
What else? So doors. Can I check to see if there's a? I can't do that here. I need to find a communications array or something somewhere in the facility. See why I can't access the main server.
Now that the facility's back on, power is back online. The security room at the very front had cameras. Can we access them from down here without having to go and retrace all our steps?
I'd have to check to see if the engineering computers are networked to the security terminals, but I don't think they would be. They'd probably be gapped.
Yeah, I think these systems are not connected. You could probably do it from a computer. So you can easily do it from the security computer. If you want to do it from the computers in the lab that you just came from, then that will require a computer's check.
I can. Yeah, but it'll be like I can do it from the computers in the lab if you don't want to all the way across. But
We want us to move as little as we can through the lab whilst power is back on to make a threat assessment.
It makes perfect sense. Yes, I can do that. It's easy enough. Check for survivors as well. There's got to be maybe somebody actually managed to hide it.
Oh yes, them too, I suppose.
Can I double check the upper level where I opened the lab and there was the sleeping dog? Were there 3 bodies in there?
There were 3 bodies in there, and they appear to all be scientists.
We head this way, quietly as I can.
Cool. So can you make a computer check for me, please?
Yep, I can do.
We're missing 4 bodies, I think. Maybe 3.
1 success.
Okay. So you're still able to do it, and yeah, I will allow you to with the, because you can back it up with the ID credentials. So I will allow you to release the lockdown.
Ooh. Do I need to release the lockdown to turn the cameras on?
Oh, sorry, was that what you were doing?
Yes.
Apologies. So, okay, cool. So the cameras come back online. So, how am I going to do this? So, okay, so there is.
There are 9 security cameras.
Yeah.
One's outside. I don't particularly care about.
Yeah. So hold
Not how they would be oriented. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Hold on. Because I haven't actually considered it occurring this way. So.
It's like, what are your players going to do? Well, I think they'll do this. It's like, no.
Right. Can you see? Right. I need to improve. Hold on. What I'm going to do. So lights will remain off, but for ease at this stage, I am just going to.
Oh, we're going to give them little cameras I can see.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. You should put a camera that can see into a bathroom.
No, not the, as in, so if you scroll down, I have to make it emit light. Okay.
I can see the one you've put.
Cool.
It can see into the bathroom. Oh, I see.
So
there's one there.
Yep.
It's got 2 more bodies in the. Is this the main lab?
So yeah, this is the main. This is the main lab. So
2 bodies and a horse. And it looks like this is where the containment.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is.
Whoa!
So hold on. So.
Oh, hello.
Hello, John.
Yep.
So. And
I can't deselect.
13, 14, 15, 16. You've kind of just got to select away, I think.
I can't.
Is your left click to deselect? I always forget where that stupid thing is. Figure controls? No.
It's apparently set to select tokens.
Where is it? Left click to release objects. You have to configure game settings. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So,
Right. Boardroom, nobody. Looks like a bunk room?
yeah.
Ooh. He died in bed? Shot?
It
Yeah,
very much
night
appears,
shift.
mate.
Click. A horse, dog, 2 people. Looks like they mauled each other to death. There's bones, and then we've got our friend John over there. Wave to John, everyone.
What is John doing? Because I'm assuming these are live images.
What is John?
So
That's also a fair question.
So there's a level. So the picture is particularly grainy. Both of the ones in this area are, and here's a kind of faceless humanoid that is just sat on a chair, staring straight out the door, motionless, expressionless.
Does he react to our observation of him?
Not that you can tell, no.
I mean, he doesn't really have eyes. He's mostly like a collection. But then I can't see very well. So...
But if his influence reaches out to us, then...
I mean, going near him is probably a bad plan. I mean, they birthed him from a dog. Well, I don't even know. Like, ethically, I don't know what to do at the moment.
I know what to do.
I know what to do.
Yes, I know.
I think Lucas at this point will lay a hand on Riddle's shoulder and say, "Look, mate, I know this is not your kind of thing, but remember what happened with Chet?
But we didn't kill Chet.
No, but we should have.
Maybe. But he's still whatever he was, regardless of what we did.
Yeah, but we could have stopped it. And whatever is going to come next.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Good, evil, or everywhere in between.
It's an entity. It's not going to be good.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, we ran into that thing. Something got us to Chet. Or warned us about Chet, at least. So maybe there's not everything out there's trying to kill us. Not everything out there is good, mind you, either, but there's got to be a little nuance.
There's a reason we have threat categories, not friendly categories.
Isn't there a threat category that's like, hey, this is actually beneficial? Like, shit, I might be confusing this with the SCP.
Is it Thormiel in SCP is things that are used to contain other entities?
There's one that's like, this is a benign entity and actually is really.
Yeah, it's like I think it's either Archon or Thormiel or one of those. I was reading some today.
Yeah.
I read my favourite ever SCP earlier on my lunch break at work, which I think was 5028.
What's that one?
That's 5028.
5028.
Which was Euclid.
Yeah. Archon is the positive one.
It is Archon, yeah.
Yeah. Thaumiel is used in containing or counteracting other SCPs, but not necessarily like they are themselves contained.
Sure.
Whereas Archon is can be contained, but are not, as it.
Yeah, we don't
Better to
contain
just leave
Archon
them.
ones. Like the Sentient Rain Cloud. Like, that one is one that is Archon because there's no reason to try contain it, because containing it would take away from the good stuff it does uniformly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just leave it the fuck alone.
Right. We going in?
I guess so. I don't know. We can't. I don't. It's contained by EMF radiation. I would guess at the very. If you're really intent on killing this thing, my best bet would be an EMP.
Can you get that working?
I mean, if I overload the generators, it'll do that. Take out the EMF feed first.
Should we contact the agency?
They'll just tell us to. Do you remember what happened when we contacted the agency?
Yeah,
Chat?
I remember.
The whole fucking time it was used. I don't want to contact Scorpion because they're worse. They'll want to do whatever they were doing before with this thing. I don't know. There's something about unshielded areas as well that concerns me. Are we in an unshielded area?
Can we work that out from the context we have?
Based off your EMF readings, this is probably a shielded area. You are close to an unshielded area.
So, if an area is shielded, does that mean that John can't go there?
No.
There is insufficient data.
Or that he can't phase there?
The shielding is more about the promotion and growth of the teleportation mutation.
Shielded from the energy that's already coming.
Yeah.
Right. Is there evidence that shielding affects how things can phase?
Not with the data that you have. You haven't seen one of these things phase, and there is no research data.
Red, can you access what happened in the cameras 4 hours ago? Without.
Can I do that?
I love that idea. Okay, so
without clicking the lockdown, you know.
Yeah, are you doing it from there?
Yeah.
Okay, can I have another computer skill check, please?
3 successes.
Lovely. Okay, so yes, you are able to pull up. So, from 4 hours ago, what? Right. Okay. So hold on. Let's.
4.
So 4 hours ago, you are going to see. So the can you see the camera? Yeah.
Yes.
Enough.
Yep.
So I'll move the. I will move the camera. So you see Atra come in here, walk across. She will walk up to the door, where John is still.
John is there, right?
Yeah.
4 hours ago.
Yeah. You will see her place a hand on the door, and then she will walk over to the cages, and there are sort of like portable looking field generators. So the coloured tiles are there are embedded like
field generators.
So whereas these are portable ones, and you see her go to the two cages, shut them down, and then two dogs zap through the bars, and then zap through the wall, and then zap through the wall again, and then you see Atara, walk down the stairs, and then you see Braden run down the stairs. So if you're getting a whole picture, you will see Braden at his console. He'll be kind of typing, and then suddenly the other security guard will stand up and go and move to stop him. He will shoot the security guard, and then shoot the admin worker who is also running towards him. So over here, so he shoots both of them, single shot, and then runs down the stairs.
Has
Braden also
John moved from out of that room the whole time he's been here?
No, he has remained perfectly still.
And when does he appear first?
So I scroll back through and it's just like a...
So,
because I have an idea based on that letter from...
So, based... so, it's going to be... If I recall correctly, it's going to be 72 hours ago was when you see one of the phase dogs, like, kind of gestate what is kind of like puppy size, but it's a humanoid. The scientists carry them into the containment cell, and then over a few hours, it slowly
grows,
morphs into a humanoid being, and it paces for a little bit, occasionally sitting and then getting up, but then for the last 48 hours straight, it has been sat there motionless.
There was a moment where they pumped the room full of gas. What did it do?
Ooh, yes. I had forgotten about that. So
nitrous oxide, N2O.
Yeah. So so it kind of fell down and then kind of turned into a cloud of like particles. And that's when they come in with the syringe. And when they like draw the syringe, there's nothing. They don't even get any of the particles, and you kind of see a discussion occur. And then one of them looks at their watch, and they all rush out of there after re-engaging the fields.
That was very optimistic of those scientists, thinking they were going to syringe up a guy who cloud.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't put in the mass spectrometer or something.
They can't turn anything on. All the EMF radiation over there, they can't do anything. So they could never figure out what he was.
If we turn that field up higher, is it going to kill that thing?
It might just contain it more. I could probably make the fields.
Make it stronger.
At some point, it'll start affecting us. So I think, revert more power to it, but I don't think it will do anything to it. Although it is curious why NO would actually affect it. It must have some biological tree. What's this substance that they extracted from the dogs, though?
XM82A.
Wait a minute.
X82.
XM82.
They also straight up have a cure for cancer.
Yeah. That's
And
existed,
inhibitor.
but that's existed since the 70s.
I'd like to find the information on that if I...
Why do you think all the presidents live so long?
Oh, that's
So-
like because they're lizard people, you know that.
Yeah, and lizards are much more subject to cancers.
Oh, that's true.
So,
The other lizard people don't live nearly as long.
if you're looking for the research data, you cannot find it. You could postulate that it is on the server.
You need access to the server, which means I need access to communications array, which means their stuff.
Is there access to the details of what the verb termination entails?
No, it is a euphemism.
Can we scan back in the security footage to see what happened when they did terminate one of the.
Yes. So. Okay. So. Let me just pull that up again to remind myself of the order in which it occurred. So. So you see them. So. In the lab that Riddle is currently in, the central kind of computers cover over and they turn into surgical tables, and at that point, so yeah, so they do the vivisection, so it's alive while they're doing the vivisection, and then they inject it with something.
From where?
And so they're so they would have got that from the storeroom.
Which is the storeroom?
So back down where the generators were. So the room that you first went into, there were rows and rows of different storage.
Yeah.
So they would have got so. Okay, 2 seconds. So I'm going to so I'm going to say there was a note in there, and that they used sodium pentobarbital.
Okay, that's just regular veterinary euthanizing agent.
Yeah. Yes.
It is either bright blue or bright pink, and it is the only thing that is allowed to be those particular shades of colours.
Ah. So that you never mix it with something else.
It's really it's weirdly bubblegum, but it is very obvious when you see it. Worked in a vet surgery. I'm not a serial killer.
I just want to check something.
Out of game. I'm not a serial killer. Continue.
The lab notes say there were 2 canines, 1 equine, and 1. Let's call him John.
Yep.
However, there's a we killed one in the kitchen. There's a sleeping one in the other labs. There's a third one in the secure labs, and so there's an additional canine here.
So with the equine, there were 2 equines.
But one was terminated.
One was terminated, one is active. And then
there were 2 active canines and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terminated canines.
So yes. the most recent one. So because that all 6, 7, and 8 were all alive at the same time. When subject 6 was terminated, it was brought back into this room and placed. They were almost trance-like. It doesn't say that in the notes, but
we can see that from the video, and that's that one.
Yes.
Okay. I just checked that there's not an extra creepy animal that is not logged anywhere.
It's been gestating, or
yeah.
There's other doors up on the north side of the corridor with John's room as well.
So if we scrub, so the 2 people that are dead in there were killed by this thing.
Yeah, there it is.
At which point it then phased back in there and has not been seen since. So presumably is still there.
I assume this one
was the
No, so again, this is the one that died, and they placed it. So it was in storage, but they brought it out and placed it back here about the same time. So this is within the 48-hour window where they start to become trance-like. You can see they're sort of putting animals back in there, and one of them will even bring it food occasionally.
They're just going through the motions of.
They don't remember what they're doing, so
they don't remember terminating it, so they're. Okay, yeah.
Can we get hold of some FN 107Y, please?
I click the computer, figure out where it's stored.
So there is a there's you can retrieve that from storage.
I'm gonna get sort of 2 cuvettes for each of us. Sort of duct tape them onto like shirt. If one of those things comes at you, inject it.
You mean the horse?
I mean any of them. 107Y, catastrophic adverse reaction.
Only to the horse. The dog was very bad. That's how they got John.
But that wasn't 107Y that it was injected with to make John, was it?
Yes.
It was?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, sorry, beg pardon.
It will work on the horse if you see it. So
that's for the horse, then.
That's for the horse. Don't confuse them.
That was a Joe brain fart there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are you sure you want these miracle cancer drugs now that make you spit out other entities when you
Only
take
in the
them?
presence of whatever nonsense here. Still want the magic curing cancer. I could be the man who cured cancer. That would at least alleviate some of my moral quibbles about all of this shit that I'm doing.
Right. How are we going to deal with this thing?
Dial the field up another notch, see if we get a reaction.
I click, bring up the EMF field, increase the strength.
So the strength is at maximum.
Oh.
You can attempt to give it more power. I will tell you now, though,
there's a risk.
That there is a risk. Unless you physically inspect those generators, you don't know what adding more power to them will do. It might make it stronger, or it might blow them out completely.
The ones that are over here said were portable?
The scientist released all 3. Sorry, I only said 2, but yeah, she released all 3. These ones are physically inbuilt into the structure and couldn't be shut off in the same way.
So this is like in terms of the emitter, it creates a box.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I mean, the worst case scenario, we can grab one and carry it with us as kind of shield. I can increase power to the emitters. If they blow, John will just get loose and danger. Because those emitters, and I'm right in presuming this, the emitters around John are significantly...
They definitely appear to be, yes.
Like, I pull a bar grabber. Here's the power generation, pull from the portable generator, since like down to 1%. Here's the power draw for John's. It's 100% of one generator.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
Okay.
You could power a city.
I get it.
Right, okay. So, they've got him contained. They've got them contained. We'll go with that. At the moment, they've got them contained. We don't need to do anything except make sure the generator is down. Everyone else in the facility is dead. The only real danger is causing danger. They will be here within, hours?
Scorpion.
Presumably.
Let's get outside, contact the agency, tell them what we found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best solution we've got for now.
Okay. Go.
Oh, we should probably warn them about the horse.
Exactly.
And the dog.
The dog is sleeping. The horse, I'm concerned.
Dogs don't stay asleep forever.
Oh, no, well, because I think the horse might not be in the facility anymore.
It might have phased out.
And ran. Can I get any eyes? Is there a fucking terrifying horse bolting off in the distance?
So when you were looking through the camera feed, the only time that you saw the horse was within the lab area, like the cell area.
Right.
And they said it couldn't phase through the field, so presumably it's still in its cell.
No, the field's
Cell's
deactivated.
Field
but
was deactivated.
Yeah.
But you don't get a good angle on that one. There is a camera there, but it's been knocked out. The cameras seem to blow with relative frequency in this area.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. But you could, based off its movements, you presume it is still there.
So we tell them what's happening. We tell them the kind of entities that are here. 3 confirmed entities.
You're cutting out for me. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah,
it might be. It might be. There we go. That's. Have you done?
So we've got 3 extant entities, 2 presumably non-sentient, 1 sentient, capable of some kind of limited mind control.
It might just. Well, yes, that's fair.
And it was capable of limited mind control from within it, that cage.
Yes, but they looked at their watches like they knew that continued like a certain amount of exposure would mean that they were vulnerable.
So did Atara have more exposure to this thing than anyone else?
Probably.
He's
As
the
the
lead
head
scientist.
researcher.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go talk to the agency.
Okay.
What they say.
Curious. We'd always assumed that the Philadelphia was a conspiracy. Yeah, it's nice that has got a happy ending. Okay, so they're using it to manufacture a.
They're trying to replicate and commercialise.
Teleporting drug.
Yeah, something that will give soldiers the ability to phase.
Okay.
They weren't far off from the looks, but they just fucked up a.
Okay. You've done well, so I will grant you some leeway here, but I assume there's no way that you can take one of these creatures with you.
We need a kill team here. If you want us to be that, we can.
We might be able to get the dog.
No.
But the dog. I'm not getting the horse. That thing's fucking scary.
No, don't get the horse. But did you not say that you'd killed one of them?
Yes.
Yes, we killed one of the dogs.
Yes. Is that transportable?
Oh.
Why?
Sure.
Can you bring back a sample for us, and we will. Given the mind control properties of this John, we accept that the risk might be too great for you to encounter him directly. We can send a more hardened team against John if you'd so desire.
That kind of entity, what do you do against it? How do you kill it?
We don't know. We've never encountered one of these entities before.
Do I get the impression that that's what they're going to do, or are they going to do? Because he's lying to me.
So that's going to be an insight check, which is
It's empathy and something else.
Yeah, I think it's empathy and presence. Yeah, because you're trying to. Yeah, it's empathy and presence versus their. I think it's depending on what they're doing.
1 success.
One success. Success.
So, you feel you've got quite a good read on this person. They aren't sure either.
They're gonna assess when they get here.
So, well, it's complicated because Scorpion will have retaken the facility before they can get there.
Right.
So it depends whether they view it high enough value to directly engage Scorpion, and if so, what its threat level is. So if it was like I can't remember how I've done this now, category 1, then yeah, they would kill everyone and everything in this facility. If it's middling, so only category 5, then they might try and extract the subject and keep it alive. He's genuinely not sure. So that's why they're looking for samples. So like samples of the dog and things like that. You've already got a lot of useful data. It's entirely permissible if you don't want to face off against this thing.
I'm happy to face off. I just want to know that if I shoot it, it'll fucking die.
Well, it's difficult because we had dismissed the Philadelphia experiment as an urban myth, so we didn't look much further into what they did to make it teleport in the first place. If it's based off void entity, and it is born of the void, then bullets are unlikely to do very much at all.
What does?
It differs between void creatures. You said you said it was vulnerable to
gas.
N2O. Could you not use more of that? Presumably enough of it would be lethal.
They had run out or something like that. They were
waiting for a shipment.
I don't know. You could try other gases and see what it does, but there's also a chance that you'll superpower it.
Just zip tie a Febreze with a little trigger shot and throw it in there.
Like, it's really vulnerable to pine scent for some reason.
What kind of gases are on log in the various labs that we have access to?
So there would be oxygen, carbon dioxide,
halofluorine.
What does that do?
Probably. It is anaesthetic gas. Veterinary anaesthetic gas. My 7 years working in a vet surgery are coming in fucking clutch and in not the way I thought they would.
Then they definitely have that.
So N2O and halofluorine are both anaesthetic maintenance agents. So they are not used to induce anaesthesia. They are used to keep something asleep once it gets there, but they have very, very similar mechanisms of action within the brain.
So you could try that. They theorise that if you could somehow, when you turn something into a gas, like
vaporize.
Yeah, thank you. Vaporize the euthanasia drug.
Propofol.
Yeah.
Phenobarbital.
Yeah, so that might work. So with your roles, you get the idea that the information they're giving you is truthful. If you deem it a big enough threat, they would rather you kill it before Scorpion get their hands back on it.
Yeah. I don't want Scorpion to have it either way, even if I didn't just want to kill entities because they're entities.
Yeah. So
because Scorpion are outwardly doing what I think the agency are doing secretly.
Yeah. So the EMP is contained by a field generator. We use similar devices. We found that EMP sometimes is lethal to those entities, but sometimes it's not. And if it's not, all you'll do is knock out the generator, and then it will definitely be free.
When it was a cloud, how big was it? Was it like a very small, tiny cloud, or was it like a big cloud?
So it would have gotten bigger. So imagine liquid going from gas. So it will have expanded.
The gas law, it fills the shape of its container.
Yeah, but weirdly, it still remained oblong. Like it didn't have a low level across the whole floor. You could see it was lying down, if that makes sense. So it retained some rigidity.
Okay, so I have a weird thought. We've established that the ones that are containing John are significantly more powerful than the portable ones, but are they more? Is it like if I took 3 of the portable ones and combined them, could I contain John even temporarily?
You cut out
And
on the
move
very
him,
end
is
there.
that?
Could we move him? Like if we took 3 of the portable generators, jerry rigged them together, and hook them up to the RV's like internal power. Could we move him?
Maybe. If he's kept out by fields, then if they were strong enough, then yes, it is.
I'm trying to build a Ghostbusters ghost trap.
Yeah,
that is what I'm trying to build.
Let me think for a second about what the agency would say. So this thing was born. So it has not inherited it's not absorbed these powers. It was born into them, which makes it considerably more stronger than the other phase creatures you've encountered.
I'm not letting this thing get out if our engine fails halfway down the freeway.
So
That's why we maintain the engine.
The field will theoretically hold for a period of time. The problem is I don't know exactly how powerful it is. So you might get an hour, you might get a day.
That's not the risk I'm taking on it.
But I can get it to if I can get it to a power plant, then I'm golden.
And what? Hand it over to the agency.
Oh fuck! Well, I never said that.
You could get more. So, because I quite like this idea, and obviously it's up to you if you want to use. There are more portable generators in the storage area. You could literally cover your van in them, like circulate them round, and that would then create a field that would be comparable.
We just
the
back the van up into the door and get him out.
Into what holding cell?
The van. But we have to be in the cabin together for a while, so we can't go back there anymore. I'd make sure to put all the grenades away. Out of the shit. If we can't kill him. I don't know if the EMP. That's not going to happen. Scorpion gets here, they get him. They will do something bad with him. The agency gets him, they might do something bad with him. So the best case scenario we can do is get them out of here.
You work on the generators, I'm going to throw all the gas we have at him.
Right. Sure. Right. Oh, fuck. There's so many of them. Heavy. Simon, come on. I need some help.
So the plan is to move him.
We can't kill him.
If I can't kill him.
You could try shooting at him. I don't think it will be much. Go ahead. Fill your boots.
I was hoping for a gas explosion.
So I start getting the...
Nitro is also used as Fast and Furious style.
Yeah.
Are we saying our hardened battle van does not have a nitrous boost on it?
Oh, that's a good point.
The rule of cool.
Yeah, that's the problem. So thematically, absolutely not. No, it wouldn't. Why the hell would you put nitrous oxide?
Because Riddle would have.
How far are we from the nearest town?
About an hour's drive away.
How long till Scorpion get here?
Undetermined, but longer than that.
I need a bakery.
You've got probably 4 to 8 hours.
I'm going to go drive and find a bakery.
Does the agency not have like a satellite it can hack into to tell us?
I'm not asking for flour, because do you know what gas they use to whip cream in bakeries? In enormous proportions.
Yeah, they do.
If there's a dentist, I'll take that. If there's a vet clinic, I am not above. I've got. I imagine agency IDs, or at least Simon can help me with this, of having some kind of official ID that I can flash to requisition shit.
I can make you into like the veterinary board for Texas, the dentistry for Texas, the name your.
Okay, so
Homeland Security.
You'll have an idea. Homeland Security. That's a good one. That means anything.
So
Chairman of the NRA. That would go further in Texas.
that is going to be, assuming you're not. Are you sneaking in to steal it, or are you going in with fake ID to?
Very much fake ID. Yeah.
Okay.
While
Cool.
he's doing that, I'm doing
the generator plan.
Yeah.
Can I please have a? I'm going to say
Manipulation
and persuasion, please.
Sure.
I will also accept intimidation if you want to be.
I will absolutely go for intimidation. Yeah.
You'll also. Are you going Homeland Security?
Yes.
In that case, you can add 3 dice to that.
I might spend a point of willpower here as well.
Go for it.
Is that 3 more?
It's 3 more. Yes. God knows how many dice that is.
Oh, it's good. Seven successes.
Okay, 7 successes. So, what was it you were after? Nitrous
I
oxide?
am hitting up a bakery for all of their nitrous. I'm hitting up a dentist's office. Where else would have it? Probably if there's a free clinic around here as well.
Okay, you have obtained an enormous amount of nitrous oxide, enough to make 20 Fast and Furious films.
Sweet. Oh yeah,
so,
I absolutely like it. Like an illegal chop shop got in there saying,
yeah.
If we don't have any, you give me that, we're not going to have any problem here.
I don't even know if it has to be illegal. I think nitrous is legal.
Oh no, but that's Lucas's modus operandi back home was.
Gotcha.
The police aren't going to be interested if this happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the intimidation, really.
Yep. So you've got that. So you're on your way back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Riddle and Simon, what have you been doing?
Riddle's been building the containment. Or he's taken the back half of the camper, kind of sectioned it off, and then built the thing around it, and then just moved anything back there that was potentially dangerous or life-threatening or could be used to become like all of this goes this way.
Okay, cool.
Somewhere, Lucas is just twitching as he realizes his stuff is being touched.
So, can I have, please, 2 resolve and composure checks from Riddle and Simon, please?
Sure.
And yes, this is to resist magical mind control. You are muted, unfortunately, Simon. So,
Yeah, 1 success each time.
Perfect. That's all you needed. It's weird. Can anyone else hear Rich?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Can you hear us, Rich? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I can see the light going on and off.
You see that Discord's not recognizing that it's actually a microphone. Mine does that sometimes.
Hey, yeah.
There we go.
I switched to a completely different device. It's
Fair.
Okay.
Composure. What was the other?
Resolve.
Resolve.
Composure, resolve. And you want 2 of them.
2, please. Yep.
So that is
that's the
3
1.
successes, and didn't roll correctly, did it? Sorry.
Yeah, that one didn't. There you go.
So 3 and 2.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
I have 1 die in resolve and 1 die in composure. It was definitely best I did the bakery run.
yes. So you're both feeling more tired, as if your brain is working overtime. But you don't feel any different. You're still committed to your current course of action.
What is my hostility level towards John at the moment? Is he my friend yet?
No.
I
So,
think nothing.
while you're still succeeding,
Okay.
you get the impression that this is not a fast process.
Mhm.
So the people here were exposed to it for at least 48 hours, if not longer. And so, uh, yeah, you get the impression that if you stay here for 48 hours, you are likely to start viewing John as your friend, if not forgetting how to make coffee.
Sure.
So, but at this stage, it's not been very long. You're still quite fresh. Yeah, this is a much more slow and insidious form of sort of mental manipulation.
I will help Riddle where I can.
Yep.
And
I know most. Yeah.
in the downtime where he doesn't need help, I'll get out my burner phone and I will tell the agency that we're planning to move him and they can track the burner phone if needed.
Cool. I appreciate your efforts. Cool. So
We all know Simon's trying to help you.
Yes.
yeah.
I mostly need your help lifting the heavy things. So.
Sure.
So
Mind if I keep this? And he gestures at the sword.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's was supposed to be a replica of something from an anime. It was a real one. Accident.
It
Oops.
stabs dogs perfectly well.
Good, I think.
So, cool. Lucas, you have returned with
Just carrying in, just truck. I got like a hand truck at this point, full of.
So, a thing that I have suddenly realised: you guys can't have been prepping the RV because Luke
could.
taken it.
Were there any
been
cars
big-
near here that I could have stolen from the car park?
Yeah.
There is not a car park. You get the impression that staff are picked up and dropped off.
Could I have got an Uber?
I need an Uber who doesn't have stars if you don't talk the whole way and have a van.
Alternatively, if we're relatively sure that Scorpion aren't going to be here for enough time, could we have put these guys in the back fixing it up while I drove?
Yeah.
That would also work. Yes. Cool. Okay. So you've come back. You have. So cool. So the van is. We'll wait to see if this works first. But you've currently kind of set up the van for a Ghostbusters machine.
So we're not as tired as we were a
yes.
minute ago.
Yeah. You are. You're actually. You're feeling fresher.
So I moved away from that.
So, Lucas, what is the plan with the nitrous?
I'm going to flood the place with as much nitrous as I can. If there's a gas valve to connect in that I can use. Are there respirators in the lab that would actively filter small molecule gas?
So, so the lab has been specifically the containment area is not connected, like air supply wise, to the rest of it. To deploy the nitrous, you will have to at least release the lockdown to access the cages, like to access at least a portion of the area.
Sure.
I think once we're ready, and we've got kind of a way of moving all that, because we're probably using the portable generators to kind of, because we can't touch him, can we?
Well, the portable generators.
The portable EMF things, like we have like one spare we can use as like a gurney, I guess.
Yeah. So So yeah, because the EMF field won't cause any harm to you. It doesn't physically stop anything. It's more that it counters or collapses certain abilities. So
Right.
because you'll note that the door in which John is kept in, like that's a sealed cell. So
Right.
just
So he
because
can still be touched. Okay.
yeah.
So we just gotta
So
move.
Move him how?
We get him on the gurney.
How?
We have to touch him.
I'll fucking do it.
When he's conscious.
No. We're going to gas the shit out of him.
But when he's gassed, he turns into a gas, right?
Turns into a puddle. We'll put him in a bucket.
there was
I assume he turns into a cloud of.
it's
Paper.
retained some rigidity though, closer towards Jex, I guess. Like when he
Yeah, the bucket.
Okay.
yeah.
Look, this might be academic. I'm planning on putting enough NOS in there that he's not going to wake up. So
It was more. I assumed he'd be like. I couldn't grab nothing to grab onto because he was just a
I
mist.
kind of thought that as well. That's why I thought the EMF build like kind of like a magnetic levitation,
Okay.
like a mag bed.
Yeah, you may encounter this problem, but I'm
This may be a problem for like
Yeah.
like
I'm
Let's
not
stop.
saying that one of you are right and wrong. Like you'll
we'll
have to find
in
out
a
when
second.
you get to there.
We'll see what the dice say.
Yeah.
Riddle has built this thing to kind of move him somehow.
I'm going to fill that lab with nitrous oxide.
Okay. So
I released the lockdown
Yeah.
because it's
cool.
allowed to do
Okay.
that.
So what you'll notice is there's actually so as you step through, it's kind of like an airlock. You'll notice that when the door comes up, you notice that the EMF meter jumps up slightly, but you'll also notice that the magnetizer starts to come up as well.
Yeah, the Gauss, yeah.
Yeah. So from here, there is a slot here where you can then pump the area full of gas, because it is designed as a like in clean rooms where you can pass things through without having. So there is, now that you've restored power, you've released the lockdown. So from the console, you can then fill the place with nitrous if you so wish.
I do so wish. I will pop a gas mask on, so I'm not going to get dosed myself.
Yes, and there are gas masks in here as well. So, one moment, I need to make some rolls. I need to check something. Okie dokie. So, okay, and okay, so there's. Do you like So do you like highs or lows?
Me?
Yeah, you. Joe, sorry.
I like lows.
You like lows. Okay. So so I'm going to assume your intentions here, and apology. So your intention is to destroy this thing utterly.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is specifically Lucas's internal intention, even if other people have taken a different inference from what Lucas has said. But yeah, that's very much.
So
there is no doubting your intention, good sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought a bit in character, but yeah. Some people like to think the best of others.
So the place fills with nitrous, and you see John, kind of his humanoid puddle, And then as more and more gets pumped in, you then start to see that rigidity starts to then collapse, and he starts to break apart. And it's as if he's dispersing, like the nitrous is breaking down his very core. And then one of the loose wires in the computer makes contact with the gas, and there is an almighty explosion. So you are thrown right back against that. Would you though? No, because that's a reinforced door. So so the rock, the rock of the mountain is literally kind of almost pushed upwards with the blast, and then it begins to collapse the structure. The door is broken, dented, damaged. Like, it doesn't serve as a protective barrier anymore, but it does shield you from most of the blast. The entire place is on fire, and the roof is collapsing. The feeds to the camera are dead. The gauze meter is going nuts, and yeah, the place is starting to collapse.
Is Lucas on the ground next to me?
It's with enough force to throw him back, but not enough to kill him, because that wall held strong enough.
Do you want me to make some kind of check to resist?
Yes. Can you please make? It's going to be a Dex. Dex and athletics, please.
Ooh, 0.
Okay. Yeah.
Shouldn't.
So
my first roll of digital dice of the night as well.
Yeah, you are launched back. You are knocked unconscious.
That would have been 5 successes if I'd rolled on real dice.
Oh.
I just got to learn my lesson about never using them.
Sorry, hold on. No. I just need to check damage for a second. So that will be 6 points of bludgeoning damage. So that's.
Ooh.
Can't remember where your health is. So
my health is 8. Is this bashing or lethal?
It's bashing. So yeah, because if I'm seeing that correctly, I need to. That's how that works.
So my health should be 8.
Cool.
So 6 would be to there.
Okay. Oh, so you're still conscious then?
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to tweak because it's bashing. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you get -1 to your penalties, -1 to all of your future dice rolls until you can rest up. The facility is now collapsing at this point. You're unable to verify. You got the impression that he was definitely being dispersed and it was working. But yeah, if you do not leave now, you will be crushed as the facility collapses.
Let's go then.
Yeah,
Lucas up.
Yeah, I thought that's what you'd choose to do, but I thought I would inform you of that is what's happening.
Trying to fucking go. You used too much gas.
Yeah, well, I had a lot to use. Are we needing to make checks to escape, or if we leave now, are we going to be safe?
This is a chase. There is a chase mechanic. So, cool. Yes, let's end with that. So that is going to be a Dex and Athletics check, please.
And is this -1 die, or is it -1 to each?
-1 die.
I need to use some willpower for this.
I'm going to use willpower.
Yeah.
If you don't have the skill, how many negatives is it?
Because it's a physical skill, -1.
And how many?
-1 die or -1 to the rolls?
-1 die. Whenever it's almost always when it says -1 or +1, that's the number of die.
How many willpower for a physical skill?
So it's +3.
It's still +3.
Yeah. So, and I would strongly recommend that you use willpower for this.
Well, according to my sheet, I have 1 out of 5 willpower. Is that?
No, you get 5 out of 5.
Yeah, you should have 5 out of 5 at this stage.
So I will use all 5, I guess.
That will give you 15 dice.
You got 5 willpower. I got 2.
What determines willpower?
Presumably something I'm shit at. 4 successes.
Perfect.
3 successes.
Yep.
How does willpower recharge?
Long rest, among other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
no penalty for just using all 5 willpower.
Yeah. The rules might change once I move to the new rule set, but for now it refreshes between campaigns. So you use them all. Yeah. That's just a hilarious number of dice.
Nice.
Only 6.
Yeah. So yeah, the threshold was 3 because you had 3 rooms to get to. So if you'd, what would have happened? So for every success you move into a room, and then a room will then collapse and you get to make another roll. Is how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you had to get 1 each time for 3 rolls. If you get ahead, then you get ahead. If you fall behind,
you fall behind.
You will be crushed.
Sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you sprint out of there as the entire facility just collapses as the mountain destabilizes, and just the weight of that rock crushes what remains of the Philadelphia.
Ooh. I've just looked at the combustion reaction for nitrous oxide. It doesn't make good gases. It makes carbon monoxide.
Ah! So if you don't die by the explosion, you suffocate.
Yep.
Nice.
So if you stay there for a period of time, let's say half an hour, because you've still got that amount of time, like not in the facility, but you're waiting in your RV, you do not see anything else emerge or phase through. As far as you can tell, nothing is leaving that facility.
Do we have like particulate meters anywhere?
So, there are particulates of there's nothing unknown. You don't know what John would have registered as.
I was more meaning like nitrous or carbon monoxide, like the actual gas outside of the RV. Is the environment dangerous right now?
So it would be. Let me think about this. It would be crushed. You would be hit with a wave, but the RV would be fitted with hermetic filters.
Cool.
So you are safe inside the RV. If you step out, you will be exposing yourself to high levels of dust particulates, carbon monoxide.
Bad things.
Possibly trace amounts of nitrous oxide still. It's not a good day, but it's dissipating relatively quickly. So when the Scorpion people arrive, they're not going to die.
Did we have effectively some form of Geiger counter-esque thing that increased when we opened the lab doors?
Yeah. So
what is that reading?
So that has gone down to just above background levels. So there was. So you get. It's not necessarily John that was generating those fields.
Yeah.
It was the remains of the Philadelphia. Yeah. So
we've effectively, it doesn't seem like we've exposed this outside area to whatever the Philadelphia was giving off.
no. The fact that it's materialized into rock and the rock hasn't. So on, it's kind of like a microwave. It's fine on the inside, but pointing out. And by crushing it, you've not spread the radiation anywhere. It now just doesn't work. It's probably the best analogy that I can use that would be a reasonable hypothesis for what has happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the story moving back to the Bureau or to the agency in England now?
So you will be heading back to the Bureau because there may be one more task for you. I need to work that out yet. But you at this stage there are no impending orders, so you will be going back to the Bureau, and then from there they'll either send you back to the agency or send you out on a final task before returning to the UK. But yeah, you can now head straight to the Bureau at this stage.
Where's the Bureau located?
That's a real good question. So it has got a field office. So it's there's a field office in Texas, which is where it's hold on, I do have this.
That's such a familiar expression as a DM. Wait, no, I wrote this, I'm sure.
It's one of my 17 spreadsheets.
Yeah.
That's why World Anvil is searchable, because otherwise I'd lose everything.
I know I wrote this in a document that was last edited in 2016, definitely.
Oh.
So it's it might be New Mexico actually. Hold on. So it's in a place called Truth or Consequences.
Oh,
It's a real place.
Yeah, it is. Can't remember where it is though.
New Mexico. New Mexico. Sorry.
oh, Michael, you spoil us.
So yeah. You've got several hours drive.
Yeah, you mind taking that one?
Yes, it's fine by me. I can do that.
It,
Oh, mind the EMF stuff. It might raise your hair. File. It might be useful to keep though.
oh no, my hair will be raised. Well, it would be if I had any from the enormous explosion.
You've got hair other places.
Waxed smooth is Lucas.
In every possible place. Jesus.
Yeah, because you don't want to leave any hair evidence at crime scenes.
That's true.
And he puts a shower cap on his head.
Do you know
All this
Truth or
time you had a shower.
Do you know Truth or Consequence was named that way?
Oh, you cut out there again, sorry.
You've cut out there.
It was named that way.
Truth or Consequence was renamed because they had to rename themselves after radio.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've just loved that name as a thing.
Yeah.
Very
After
cool.
what radio?
The radio show Truth or
Oh,
Consequence.
after the... Oh!
The original NBC radio show.
Oh, that's a real shame, because that's the most Wild West fucking name in the world. Especially New Mexico, come on.
Yeah.
Oh! That should have been called Truth or Consequences after a high noon duel in 1851.
Yeah, that would have been brilliant.
In 1950, he announced he would air the program on its 10th anniversary from the first town that renamed itself after the show.
It's a better name. I'm just going to say it's a better name.
It is.
But yes.
Right.
There, gentlemen, we will end the recording.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
honestly, I'm just gonna tell you this out loud. Like my plan, if the gas like just pulled up in there, was I sent Mike a message a while ago saying I also when I get back from the van have one fragmentation grenade I've hidden in my pockets, and I was just gonna leave that booby trapped so when the Scorpion personnel opened all the gas to vent it, it would have just done exactly to them what it did to us.
So
That place was getting kaploded either way.
That's fair.
While I will not reveal John's intentions, I am, as much as I love the RV idea, I was curious as to how that was going to play out because it just stops the phasing ability.
You sell the mind control ability, so we'd have to
No,
be very,
no.
very.
He could physically walk out the RV.
We'd lock the RV. From the inside of the RV would be like a little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd have the steel shutters that came down.
You'd lock the RV with him in the back and me in the back.
I was really
Mind
waiting.
controls you, and we have no problem. New problems that occur later.
One void avatar enters, one void avatar leaves. Sweet, nice one, dude.
No worries.
Yeah, well done.
I'm glad it was a successful one shot as well. I was like,
Yeah.
I was worried halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Is it so? It's Spelljammer next week, and then West of Wilds week after.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Then it's the break after that, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because that's the day after I get back from pool.
Yeah.
30th of October.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool, right. I'm gonna go get sleep.
Yep, same.
Yes.
Sleep is for the weak. And I'm very weak.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Take care.
bye.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.